My name is Craig Parton. I'm a lawyer here in Santa Barbara, and I'm here with Dr. John Warwick Montgomery, who has been at the University of California, Santa Barbara campus today, speaking on a lawyer's view of Christianity, and will be speaking tonight on why human rights are impossible without religion. And there are some questions that people have wanted to pose to Dr. Montgomery, but because they're too frightened to do this directly, we have this kind of format to ask those questions. I wanted to start with a question that I think is something that is particularly pertinent here at Santa Barbara at UCSB because of the emphasis in comparative religions. Aren't all religions basically going down the same path to God, Dr. Montgomery? I mean, Buddha, Muhammad, Jesus, they're all saying essentially the same thing. And I think it's great that you want to be religious. Everyone should have a religious commitment. But they're all saying in general the same thing. It really doesn't matter which religious persuasion you commit yourself to. How would you respond?
That's a very important question, and it's a problem that many people have with any claims to religious uniqueness. But it seems to me that what we've got to do in a situation like this is to ask ourselves, where does our knowledge of God and salvation, the way to God, come from? If it comes from human beings, then how do we know that those human beings are actually presenting the divine situation? It would appear that the only way that we can get solid information about the way to God is from God himself. What we need is a revelation or revelations from God, verifiable revelations that will make it possible for us to get correct information on this subject. Now, there are many religious claims in the world. We're living in a pluralistic society where there are sects and cults and historic world religions, philosophies, to a very vast number. And they, sad to say, contradict each other on the way of salvation, on the way to God. They can't possibly all be true. They might all be false, but they certainly can't all be true. And if that's the situation, what we have to do is to check out each particular claim to see if there is enough evidence to support that claim as being a genuine revelation. Now, Christianity is unique in the sense that it provides an empirical way, a factual way, of determining its truth. St. Paul said, if Christ isn't risen from the dead, we are of all men most miserable. That is to say, if the resurrection of Christ didn't happen, then Christianity is false. It's a falsifiable religion. The problem with so many of the other world's religions is that they are not falsifiable. There isn't any way by which you can show that they are right or wrong. This makes me think of the statement of the physicist Wolfgang Pauli in the margin of a colleague's paper. He said, this isn't right, it isn't even wrong, because there was no way to test it. In the case of Christianity, we are able to arrive at a point of testability. And as a result of that, we can say that the way to God as set forth in the Christian scriptures, that's a valid way. And of course, if any other religion or any other philosophy overlaps this, presents in any sense a common understanding, then that other position is validated by virtue of the Christian revelation. But where another religious position contradicts what the Christian faith has to say on this subject, it simply can't be right. Edgar Sheffield Brightman of Boston University, the personalist philosopher, used to say that a universe in which historic Roman Catholicism and the sect of Christian Science are both right would be a cosmic madhouse. You simply can't have that. It's necessary to make choices, and it seems to me that this is really a mark of maturity. We have to get to the point where we accept the way things actually are, even though perhaps we might not personally want to have them that way.